can find applications of sets in each and every way. Like even in cloud computing, you have sets. In machine learning, you have sets. In AI, you have sets. In each and every field, wherever you go, you're going to deal with sets. So there is no other option or running from sets. Also, it is so much interesting that once you start dealing with sets, you'll start enjoying it. Another important part where sets are used is uh, consider your interviews. In your Whenever you're going to go for interviews in companies, there is going to be an aptitude test, and a major part of aptitude test will also have sets and relations in it. Sets and relations will also be there in your competitive exams. Whichever competitive exam you decide to give, you can give your GATE exam, you can decide to give your MBA related exams such as SNAP or CAT, or you can give your uh, other exams such as GRE. So any competitive exam, it's even part of your MPSC syllabus. So any competitive exam also has sets included in it. So sets is the base for your mathematics. It's a very, very, very easy chapter, and once you start learning about this chapter, you'll get more and more interested in it. So we'll start with sets first. First of all, what is a set? A set is a group of well-defined objects. What is well-defined objects? So objects which have a relation amongst themselves. For example, when I say days in a week, that would include your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So they have specific relation between them, or I can say that they are defined in a particular manner. Then you can say there is another example such as vowels in English. Vowels in English would include your A letters A, E, I, O, and U. So I can say that this belong to a particular set. Then what is not a set? If I say pen, ink, uh, sky, and ball, so all these objects don't have anything common in them, or they are not a part of a particular group, and they cannot be well defined into a particular set of elements. So I can say that these are not going to be a set. So for any group of elements to be a set, our first thing is that they should be well defined. Next is, first I'll show you how to write a set. So here we go. So set is represented by a capital letter, say suppose A. It will be written in curly brackets. And suppose we are writing a set which is consisting of your vowels. So my vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. Each letter is known as an element, and all the elements are separated by comma amongst themselves. Suppose I have to write a set B, which is equal to all the natural numbers less than 5. So all the natural numbers, I can say natural numbers start with 1 and less than 5. So what are the natural numbers less than 5? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I can say the natural numbers are 1, 2, 3, and 4. I can also write, say suppose there is a word which is luggage, and I have to write this in set format such that all the letters of this word luggage are included in that set. So which are the letters which are present in this? L is present, I'll write a comma after that. Then U is present over here, so I'll write U. G is present, I'll write G. G is repeated twice, so if any term is repeated twice, I don't have to write it. Just a second. Yeah. So next term is your A. I'll write down A over here. After which I have my G, and after which I have my E. So in this particular word luggage, G was repeated twice, so I didn't have to write G twice. Even if it's sufficient, even if you just write it once. Also, when you're representing or writing a set, it is not important that you go in the same manner or same order. Okay. I'll use a white pen so that it is more visible. Yeah. So how do we write a set? So this is one of the way in which you can write a set. There are two ways in which a set can be represented. First way to represent a set. So I can say that representation of set, that can be done in two ways. First way is also known as a roster method, or it is also called as a listing method or a tabular method. And second method to write a set is your set builder form. So what is the difference between these two? We'll consider first example, writing a set in roster format or listing method. When you're going to write a set in listing method, all the elements are written one after another, like we saw in a previous example. Suppose A is a set which is having vowels in English, so I'll write as A, E, I, O, and U. So this is nothing but your set in listing method or roster method. And the second type is your set builder form. So in set builder form, what you're going to do is you're going to write the set by defining particular characteristics of these elements. So what are these elements? A, E, I, O, and U. These are nothing but your vowels. So I can write this set also as that A belongs to a set of X, then D. Then D means such that X belongs to this sign is belongs to sign. So what does X belongs to? It belongs to, I can say, vowels in English. So these are two ways. If you write in sentence format, that is your set builder form. And if you write in a listing format, like all the elements are listed one after another, then that is going to be a roster method or listing method or tabular format. So is this part clear? Uh, can you just type in chat whether it's clear or not? Yes or no? That's it. Yes, from Parth. Okay, good. Yes, yes, yes. Good. Okay, we'll continue further then. Next point that we are going to see is cardinality of a set. Yeah. Yeah. So the next point is cardinality of a set. So what is cardinality? Cardinality is just a fancy word to say number of words. So as maths is kind of boring, instead of saying number of elements, they have come up with a new word, a fancy kind of looking word, which is cardinality. So when you say cardinality, you'll think like it's some fancy, but basically cardinality is nothing but number of elements in a set. So when I write a set, so suppose that set is given as A, E, I, O, and U. How many letters of elements are there? I can say A is one letter, E is another, I is third, O is fourth, and U is fifth. So number of elements in this particular set is 5. So cardinality is number of elements in that particular set. Hence I can say that is equal to 5. Suppose I say that B is another set which is consisting of X such that X belongs to days in a week. So when I say days in a week, how many days are there? We know that 7 days are there. So how many elements will be present in B? There would be 7 elements which are present in B. Therefore, I can say that n of B, or number of elements in B, or another fancy word for that is cardinality. Cardinality of B, which is going to be equal to 7. Next type that we are going to learn is types of different sets. There are various types of sets. So first type is your empty set. You can also say that is your null set, or you can also say that it is a void set. As the name suggests, empty set, null set, void set. So that means there is not going to be any letter present in that particular set. So if I write a set A which doesn't have any letters in it, that is going to be my null set. So A is equal to empty brackets, or I can also represent this in this way. So this is denotation for my notation for my null sets or empty sets. So we'll see one example what of a null set. So can you tell me all the natural numbers which are less than 1? So you can type in the answers of all the natural numbers which are less than 1. So we'll write that in set format. So answers, please. Empty set, okay. No numbers, none, okay. Yeah, that's right. So how many natural numbers are there which are less than 1? No number is there. Therefore, answer is your null set or void set, and hence I'm going to write it in this way. Next is your singleton set. As the name suggests, how many elements will be there in this set? A singleton, single element will be present. Say suppose A is equal to 1, or B is equal to A. So these are your singleton sets, as only one single element is present in this set. Now I have a question for you guys. Tell me all the whole numbers which are not part of your natural numbers. Say suppose there is a set C which is equal to all the whole numbers which are not part of your natural numbers. So what would be the answer for that? 0. Okay. 0, 0, 0. Om, Srushti, Parth, Rushikesh, Kashish, Goel. So, okay, perfect. So each and everyone is saying 0. Okay, so I'll write 0 here. Whole numbers are starting from 0 and natural numbers are starting from 1. So the condition in this case was it should be a whole number, but it should not be a natural number. So only one element is present, which is 0. So now can you tell me whether C is equal to this element 0, whether it is an empty set or a singleton set? What is it? C is equal to 0. Is it an empty set or a singleton set? Singleton. Okay, Rutu is saying singleton, Aditya singleton, Shweta is saying singleton, Veer is saying singleton, Om is saying singleton. Okay, perfect, that's right. So even if you say 0, so 0 is also an element, and that is going to be your singleton set. Okay. Next type we are going to learn in types of sets, which is your finite set. So as the name suggests, finite set would be that there would be finite number of elements in this set. Consider A, E, I, O, and U. Can I count number of elements in this set? Yes, there are 5 elements. So this is a finite set. If there is a finite set, there is also going to be infinite set. So suppose infinite set example is all your natural numbers. So what are my natural numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is going to go on continuing. So There are infinite number of elements in this set, hence I can say that this is an infinite set. Next topic or next point is subset. So this is an important point. So focus over here. What is a subset? Suppose I say that my A set has elements A, E, and I, and my B set has elements A, E, I, O, and U. Can I say that all the elements which are present in A are also present in B? Yes, I can say that A has three elements A, E, and I, and B has those three elements A, E, and I, and it also has additional two elements. So whenever this is going to happen, that all the elements of A are going to be present in B, I can say that A is a subset of B, and it is represented in this way. So A is a subset of B. If A is a subset of B, then what is B? B is called as a superset of A, and it is represented in this way. So next topic or next point is, after subset we have superset. So we'll consider the same example over here, that A, E, I, three elements are present in A, and B has five elements. All the elements of B are also present in A. So I can say that B is a superset of A. Next point is a next important point okay, here we go. So next important point that we are going to see is proper subset. So in proper subset, I can say that consider one set which is having elements 1, 2, and 3, and consider another set which is having elements, say suppose 1, 2, 3, and 4. I can say that A is a subset of B in this case as well, and also I can say that A is also B is also a proper subset. So what does that mean? That all my elements in A are also present in B, but B has at least one more element than A. For example, in this case, B has fourth element extra. So what is difference between a subset and a proper subset? Consider this example where A is equal to 1, 2, and 3, and B is another set which is equal to 1, 2, and 3. So my first question is whether A is a subset of B. Yes, A is a subset of B because all the elements of A are also present in all the elements of B. My second question is this a proper subset? So it is not a proper subset because B does not have any additional elements which are not present in A. So the necessary condition for proper subset is that all the elements of A and B should not be equal. A should not be equal to B. Then and only then I can say that it is a proper subset. So is this difference clear between a subset and a proper subset? Subset is when all your elements in one set are matching to elements in another set, and for proper subset, the secondary or the main B set should have at least one additional element which is not present in A. So next point we'll see, which is equal sets. As the name suggests, equal sets. तो sets equal होने के लिए क्या होना चाहिए? उनके सारे elements same होने चाहिए. So if I can say that A is equal to all the elements in the letter 10. So how many letters are there? There are three letters, T, E, and N. And B is another set which is equal to all the letters in the word net. So what are the elements? N, E, T. So the elements in set A are T, E, and N. Elements in set B are N, E, and T. Are these three elements same? Yes, they are same. Therefore, I can say that my sets A and B are equal sets. For two sets to be equal, all the elements should be equal. You can say that the order is not important over here, because for writing a set, order is not important. You can write TEN, or you can also write NET, or you can also represent this as ENT. So while writing a set, the way in which you are going to represent the sets, or the way in which you are going to write the elements, is not going to matter. Therefore, only the number of elements and which elements are present is going to make a difference. Next is equivalent sets. For equivalent sets, the necessary condition is the cardinality of those two sets should be same. What is cardinality? We have seen earlier. Cardinality is nothing but a fancy term to say number of elements in that set. Say suppose A is a set which is having three elements T, E, and N, and B is another set which is having letters 1, 2, and 3. So are these two sets A and B equal? So these two sets are not equal because the names or the elements are different. However, are these two sets equivalent? Yes, these two sets are equivalent because what is the number of elements in A? There are three elements. And what is the number of elements in B? There are three elements. Therefore, I can say that number of elements in A is equal to number of elements in B, which is nothing but cardinality of a set. So if your cardinality is same or number of elements is same, I can say that these two sets are going to be equivalent sets. Next is your universal set. As the name suggests, universal set means your global set, or the set which is going to include all your smaller subsets. For example, I'll represent this with a Venn diagram. There are two sets. Say suppose this is set A, which is having elements 1 and 2, and this is another set, say suppose B, which is having elements 3 and 4. And this is my universal set, which is represented by U. Therefore, I can say that in this case, A is a set which is having two elements 1, 2. B is my another set which is having two elements 3 and 4. And U is my universal set. So what is universal set? It should include all the elements which are present in all other subsets. So that is equal to how much? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Therefore, I can say that universal set is equal to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next topic that we are going to look at is how to perform operations on these sets. I'll just clear this board. Yeah. So the next important topic is operations on these sets. So what can we do with these sets? We can add two sets. Adding of two sets is nothing but union. We can take intersection portion of these two sets. We can also do subtraction between two sets. We can also find complement of a set. So let's look at these one by one. First one is union of a set. So union is nothing but combining or adding your both the sets. Say suppose this is my set A, which is having elements 1 and 2 and 3, and this is my set B, which is having elements 4 and 5. So if I'm going to make an union or add them, how many elements will I get? I'll get all the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So how should I write union? So symbol to write union is this: A union B. It's like a capital U, and A union B is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If I want to shade this in my Venn diagram, A union B would be this portion. It is including A and it also includes B. Say suppose there is another set which is A is equal to 1, 2, and there is another set which is equal to 3, 4. Let's say that another set is B, and there is a common portion between these two sets. So what would be union? Union would still be addition of both these sets, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Next is intersection between two sets. So again, I'll represent this with the example of a Venn diagram. This is your set A, which is having 1, 2, and say suppose 3. So this is your set A, which is having 3 elements, 1, 2, and 3. And your B has 3 elements, 3, 4, and 5. So this is your set B, which has elements 3, 4, and 5. What I want to find is A intersection B. Intersection is written in this way, opposite symbol of union. Intersection means common portion between these two sets. So what is common portion between A and B? This is my common portion, I can say, which is present in both A and B. See letter 3, it is present in A and B. Therefore, I can say that intersecting portion is what? A intersection B is equal to 3. Next is difference between two sets. So we'll see how we can subtract two sets. Say suppose there is this set A, which is having elements 1, 2, 3, and there is another set, say suppose B, which is having 3, 4, and 5. I have to find difference or subtraction between these two sets. So I want to know what is A minus B. So what would be A minus B? For that, I will have to take my A set and subtract out B set from that. So what would be left? Only this much portion would be left. So this portion is nothing but A minus B portion. I'll highlight this. So this is my A minus B. So A minus B would be 1 and 2. What would be B minus A? So from B, I'm going to take out A. So what is left? This portion would be left. And what is this portion? 4, 5. So I can say that this is equal to 4, 5. So is this portion clear till here? Is anyone having any doubts till this part? Till the types of sets, what is cardinality sets, and how to represent a set? You can chat. No doubt. Aditya Veer is no doubt. Anyone having particular doubts? No doubt. Okay. Okay, I'll continue. You can definitely ask your doubt as we go on further. So we'll see few examples. Consider a set, and I want you to solve this now. 1, 2, okay, instead of 1, 3, 8, 9, and 10, and B is another set which is having 1, 5, 10, and 15. So I want you to tell me values of A union B, then A intersection B, then A minus B, and B minus A. Okay, you can type in the values. Let's see if you've got the concept till here. What would be all these 4 values? Can order change in finite set? Yes, Srushti, order can change in a finite set. Order is not important. When you're writing a set, the order is not important, so you can switch the elements. Okay, here we go. Aditya has given 1 and 10. Okay, 1 and 10 is which answer? A union B or what? So Parth has written A union B is 1, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10, 15. Okay. Others, you can write it in your book, no problem. If you're not getting it, just type in a no, a question mark, that I will understand that you're not getting it. So if anyone is there who is having a doubt, just write here, put in a question mark or say that you're not getting it. Anyone is having any doubt? Okay, perfect. So I'll move on. I'll tell the answers for this. A union B means all the sets in A and all the sets in B. So that is going to be 1, 3, 8, 9, 10, and elements in B 1, 5, 10, and 15. So 1 I've already written, so I don't need to write it again. I'll just write 5. 10 I've already written, I don't have to write it again, and 15. So in set, if something is repeated twice, you don't have to write it 2 times, you just have to write it once. That's enough. So is the order important? Like I've written 1, 3, 8, 9, 10, 5, 15. If someone wrote 1, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10, 15, is that correct? Yes. Order doesn't matter. You can write 15 first, you can write 1 later on. As long as the elements are same, order is not going to make any difference. Next is A intersection B. Intersection means common portion between A and B. So what is the common part? 1 is present in both. Then what, 10 is also present. Therefore I can say that intersection is 1 and 10. A minus B. So A minus B means from set A, we are taking out set B. So I'll draw a Venn diagram over here so that you'll understand it better. Set A has how much? Okay, set A has 3, set A has 8, and set A has 9. It also has 1 and 10. Set B has 1, 5, 10, and 15. So what is A minus B? A minus B is this portion. From A, we are going to subtract out B. So this portion is left. And what is this portion? How many elements this are present in this area, in this A minus B region? Right, perfect. There are 3 elements, 3, 8, and 9. And if I have to do B minus A, so from B set, I'm going to subtract out A portion. So what would I be left with? This portion. And what is this portion? This portion is 5 and 15. Perfect. Any doubt, anyone? No, perfect. Okay, we'll see some questions from textbooks. I want you to solve. Let's see. We'll start with the easiest one first. Okay, so solved example, we'll go through the textbook. Solved example 1. Here A is given as A belongs to X. Example number 1. X belongs to N. N means your set of natural numbers, and X is a factor of 6. So what are the factors of 6? 1, 2, 3, and 6. And B is another set which is having elements X such that X belongs to N, and X is a factor of 8. What are the factors of 8? 1, 2, 4, and 8. I have to find A minus B. A minus B is going to be from A you're going to subtract the portion which is not present in B. So that is equal to 3 and 6, and B is going to sorry, B minus is going to be equal to 4 by 8. So let's see. Solve this example. A is equal to X such that X belongs to factors of 12. and B is another set where B belongs to factors of 9. My question is find A union B, find A intersection B, also find A minus B and B minus A. So start typing your answers. If you're writing in book, write down in book and you can check later on. If you're having doubts to solve this, ask your doubts. Is anyone having any doubt? That's no doubts. Okay, can anyone type in the answers? Okay, Parth has written answers 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12 is union. Okay, perfect. Om has written 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12. Perfect. Okay. Om, when you're writing, you have to write the answers in curly brackets so that denotes a set. Path A intersection B. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Anyone is having any doubt? If someone is not able to solve this question, type in. Let me know. I'll explain again. Okay, no doubt. Ankita, Srushti has written answer. Parth has given answer. Okay, Parth has given all the answers. Perfect. Okay, so let's see the solution for this. X, we'll write the sets first. So I'll write sets over here. What is A set? Set A is factors of 12. What are factors of 12? I can say 1 into 12, so 1 and 12. I can also say 3 4s are 12. I can also say 2 and 6. Factors of 9 would be 1 and 9, and I can also say 3. A union B is nothing but adding both of them together. So A union B would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 6, 3, and 9. Have I left out onion? Okay, yes, I've written 2 twice. So this is 12. A intersection B is common portion. So common portion between both of them is 1 and 3. A minus B would be from A, you are taking outside B. So what is left in A? So you can't write 1 and 3 in A minus B. So for better understanding, I'll again draw a Venn diagram. Your set A has 12, 3, 4. Okay. So 12 to 6. This is your set B. In common, you have 1 and 3. And in B, you have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Okay. So A minus B would be this portion. From A, you're going to subtract out B. So that would include these elements 2, 6, 4, and 12. And B minus A would be from B, you're going to subtract out this. So that would remain only one element, which is 9. So this answer would be 9. So that's it for today. Tomorrow we'll see intervals, different types of intervals, which are open interval, closed interval, semi-open, and semi-closed. And we'll start with solving exercise 5.1. I'll also paste solutions for exercise 5.1. So when you finish up with your exercise, and if you have any doubts, I'll give you a recorded session in which all the questions from exercise 5.1 have been solved. So thank you, everyone. See you in the next lecture, which is based on intervals. Understood everything? Okay, thank you. So thank you. Okay, thank you, everyone. Anyone is having any doubt, they can ask now. Okay. Has everyone understood and everything? Just type in to let me know. Okay, thanks. Okay, no doubts. Good. Perfect. Understood. No doubts. Okay, no doubts. Aditya. Okay, understood. Rushikesh, Kashish, Goel. Perfect. So thank you, everyone. We'll see you in the next lecture.